whatever information that you have, put that in the chat room. But Grits Lawn Service, my man out there doing his thing. Jen says Zeke is not replaceable. He is not. He is not replaceable, but the Cowboys are looking to abuse whatever leverage that they may have. Shout out to Miss Mocha Bella. Thank you for tuning in to the BS3 Sports Show. My man Mr. Controversy in the building. 3-point conversion station. Most of the listeners, a lot of you guys are in Atlanta. And on Saturday morning at 9 Eastern, my man Mr. Controversy is on the radio. I cannot remember the station right now, but put that in the chat room. It is on in the morning, Saturday mornings. I believe it's at 9. Let me find the station that is on, or you can put that in the chat room. 10 Eastern in Atlanta on the radio live. And my man does his thing. And he is everywhere. When I say everywhere, this dude is everywhere. And he has people everywhere. He actually 1100 AM, WWE, the real, that's my man. He actually helped me get to the Big 3 last year. So shout out to my guy. Shout out to RC in the building. Thank you for tuning in. But the whole thing with Zeke is this going to dramatically help him get this big figure payday? And if you want to follow the Le'Veon Bell playbook, it may not work out perfect. Le'Veon Bell did exactly what he said he was going to do. I commend him for that. I came on the show and I commended him for that. But did he get how much he thought he was going to get? No. Did he get a year off? Yes, which is going to help his body. I think he's going to be a beast this year. And he's even said that he is expecting and wants to get, I believe he said 500 carries. Now, I don't know about that. 500 touches, carries. I don't know about that, but that's what he said. So Michael Thomas, Zeke, two highly touted players that are holding out right now. The story is, and there's a photo that was circling around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that Zeke was at a restaurant in Frisco yesterday. He wasn't at camp. Shout out to Big L in the building. He wasn't at camp, but it was reported that he was at a restaurant in Dallas, in Frisco, which is a suburb of Dallas. At the end of the day, the bottom line is this is Zeke's career. This is Zeke's money. He can choose to do whatever he chooses to do with it. All I hope is he makes the right decision and this does not backfire. I do think he's going to end up being a member of the Cowboys. The Cowboys love him, but everybody got to be honest. If you just got wrote up at your job for being late too many times, and then the next week you say, I want a raise. You think your boss is going to be ready and willing to give you that raise after you just got wrote up last week for coming in work late? Probably not. And this is millions of dollars involved here. So I want Zeke to get paid. I am for NFL players getting paid because I get it. You only have a limited amount of time. Your body is not made to go head up with people for an entire game. Your body is not made for that. That's not what it's designed for. That's not what God designed it for. So you need to get all the money that you can. And again, I hope everything works out for Zeke. I'm a fan of his regardless of how this goes. But I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag out type of thing. They're already not close with the numbers. He will go somewhere else. And he will torch us when he plays the Cowboys. It can happen. And it may happen. We'll see. So, those are a couple of things. Kevin Bird signs a 5-year, $70.5 million deal, 31 guaranteed. He becomes the highest paid safety in NFL. Not just in the NFL, but in NFL history. Now, somebody tell me, is this guy truly worth that money? I'm an NFL fan. I know a lot of players in the league. I don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe he is one of the best. Maybe. But he's the highest paid safety in the league for the Tennessee Titans. So, tell me, what has he done? He does play on the Titans. The Titans don't make the playoffs. But I get it. I definitely get it. Get your money. Get your money while you can, because you only have so much. You only got so long. All right, so here's some notable unsigned free agents as training camp ramps up. And title of today's show, Training Camp is here. How excited are you guys for training camp? Number one, as you guys are jumping in the chat room. And how do you feel about your team? It's extremely early, but how are you feeling about your team going into training camp? So there's a couple of players here. Mike Daniels, but Mike Daniels actually signed with the Lions. I believe that was yesterday. So he is no longer on the free agent list. He signed a 1-year, $9.1 million deal, $7.8 million fully guaranteed. You also have Eric Berry, who's not on the team. You have Michael Crabtree, or in the words of Deion Sanders, Michael Crabtree. You got Michael Crabtree out there. You got Jay Ajayi out there. Dez Bryant, which I don't know when he's going to be ready to come back and fully play. But hey, I'm all in on the Cowboys bringing him back. It's going to be for a discount. He's got to know that. It's going to be for a discount. Or what if he goes to the Patriots? We'll see. Theo Riddick just got cut. I did see that. Mo Wilkerson, defensive lineman. Nick Perry, linebacker. Mason Foster, linebacker. Corey Leggett, defensive tackle. Trey Boston is lorming out there. DeMonte Pico, and then Jonathan Cyprin. Those are some free agents out there. We'll see where these guys go. Me being a Cowboys fan, I'm always interested to see which one of these guys could fit on the Dallas Cowboys. And if you're a fan of your team, you got to do that. You got to at least think about it, because you know what your team needs, or you should know. If you're a fan of your team, you should know what your team needs as far as depth or as far as whatever it may be. So I always do that. I always look at the free agents and see if they can fit on the Cowboys. That's just what I do. You should do that too. Also, other news NFL-wise, breaking right now. Cowboys, this was about an hour ago. Cowboys make offer to Elliott. Dallas reportedly yet to receive counter from Ezekiel Elliott's camp. We'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on this. The Dallas Cowboys appear intent on bringing an end to the Ezekiel Elliott holdout. If you rewind back to 1993, Emmitt Smith holdout, the Cowboys started 0-2. That was actually the year that they went to the Super Bowl. And Jerry Jones, being the owner, being the GM, he's going to do whatever he can to get Zeke in the building. And the Cowboys are in a very interesting spot for a couple of reasons. They have to sign Dak. Okay, Dak, this is the last year of Dak's contract. Cowboys ain't winning nothing, maybe, says Big L. But you got to pay Dak. You have to, or else he's going to walk. This is the last year of his deal. Zeke, you technically have 2 years. Also, on the flip side, you got Amari Cooper, which you're going to have to pay this year, or he's going to walk. So they're in a very interesting spot. They're in a very interesting spot because if they want to keep these triplets together, they're going to have to sign all of them. And all of them want their money. None of them are talking about hometown discount. And I've been on record of saying I think one of them is going to be the odd man out. And I think that guy is going to be Amari Cooper. But you never know. Dak can go, says Jen. They won't be able to pay everybody. That's the same thing I've been saying. You can't, there's not enough money to go around. And this is not the NBA where you pay a luxury tax, which I think the NFL should do that. I think the NFL should implement a luxury tax. You can go over the limit, but just know you got to pay a tax. Cowboys going to run Zeke into the ground if and when he signs a new contract. I've been thinking that since he got drafted. You think of all the carries he gets. You think of the way he runs. And coming up in a couple minutes, we will have our first guest on the line. He's a filmmaker of the movie Just Black. Deondra Edwards will be coming on the show, talking about the film, also talking about his sports teams, what he watches, what teams he likes. We'll be rocking out till 4 Central, 5 Eastern. I'll try to get some call-ins later in the show. But Zeke is the best running back in the league. I'm not gonna argue with anybody about it. But you look at his stats over the past years. He's been top. He won a rushing title twice. One of those years he was suspended, and he still almost won a rushing title again. The guy's skills are second to none. So, also I want to give a happy birthday to my man Tyler Butler, sports and culture. Also, enough with the BS podcast. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to you. So definitely shout out to Tyler Butler. And when it comes down to it, all of these guys want their money. They want to be paid what they're worth and what they believe they're valued at. What they believe they're valued at and what they actually should be paid is normally two different things, and it normally does not equal. But you got to come to a middle road. And I think the Cowboys are going to come to a middle road with Zeke and Dak. Amari is the question mark. Melvin Gordon holdout could stretch into the season. I like Melvin Gordon. I think he's a good guy. I think he's got some really good stats. But Melvin Gordon is not, I repeat, is not a top 10 quarterback. He is not. Prove me wrong. If you got a different opinion on Melvin Gordon, please tell me. But he is not a top 10 running back. So for him to hold out and to compare himself to Zeke, that you're not equal. You remember math. You remember in grade school. Less than, equal than, greater than. He is less than. I'm not saying he shouldn't get paid, but you already have Phillip Rivers talking out and saying, we're deep at running back. When you have your quarterback, that's my quarterback. When you have your quarterback over here saying, we're already deep at running back, that's not a good look for you. He is the leader of your team. When you think of the Chargers, you think of Phillip Rivers. You do not think of Melvin Gordon. I'm sorry. I would take Melvin Gordon in top 10 running backs? I don't think so. Ben, have you been smoking? Gordon is top 10. Top 10 in the league right now. I think the kid is great, okay? I think he's a great person. I think he can probably play dominoes well. But if you look at that guy's stats over the past couple years, they do not equate. It is not equal. I'm sorry. I want the kid to get his money. I'm all in on people getting their money. I'm going to read it for you right now. I'm going to read his stats for you right now. See how fast I pulled that up? Right now. Year 1, 641 yards, 0 touchdowns. Year 2, 997 yards, and he's been injured every year except 2017. He had 10 touchdowns 2016. That's good. 997 yards. He's rushed over 1,000 yards one time. That was 2017. He had 8 touchdowns. Last year, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns. I believe Melvin Gordon is top 10, but he's injury prone.